Whippy's first ever saddle fitting. Last week we had a visit from a good friend of mine who also happens to be my saddle fitter, Sophie from Spurling Saddles. She was very excited to be fitting Whippy's first saddle, as last time she was here, Whippy was still completely feral and loose in the field. First thing to do was to measure her waistline. We've obviously done a lot of desensitization work with Whippy, but obviously things like this we haven't done, so it was really good for her to experience. She did keep a close eye on where the weigh tape was. It was then time to template her using the flexi curve, and Sophie just made sure to show her the flexi curve and make sure she knew it wasn't going to eat her first. You want to make sure experiences like this are positive for the ponies, so we are very lucky that Sophie is so patient with them. Whippy wanted to check out her template and make sure Sophie had written lots of positive things about her, which obviously she had. It still pleases me so much to see Whippy process a situation instead of just panic away from it like she used to do. It was then time to test out saddles on Whippy, and my mum has been riding her recently in Owen and Pika's old saddle. Sophie agreed that this was a pretty good fit and just needed some flocking in to make sure it was nice and balanced for Whippy's shape, as it hasn't been touched since it was last on Pika. I always find it so satisfying to watch the flocking, and it is crazy how much difference a bit of flocking can make to the fit of the saddle. Here it is, looking lovely and balanced, ready to test out. Sophie also suggested a shaped girth for Whippy, as she has a forward girth groove, so we popped one of those on. Mum then just gave her a good walk around the field, letting her get used to the feel of the new girth. As you could see, she was a bit like, oh, what is that? It obviously sits in a different place, so feels a lot different for her. And then she had a nice walk and trot around, and Sophie was watching to make sure that the saddle stayed nice and stable and balanced, which it did. Final thing to do was just check the clearance of the saddle once Mum had ridden around in it, and this was all good, so they are now fully kitted out and ready to go out and have some fun.